Greetings, Yack watchers and Lawn Boys Post 1975 watchers, or should I say listeners, because this is indeed a podcast.
I'm too purdy to show my face tonight.
It's far too purdy, boy. And that was my terrible Texan accent.
I thought it was rather on the money. No,
Yeah.
With that, everyone from Texas, not that they watch anyway because they don't like football, just dropped off the stream.
Yes, we've offended half of our demographic this evening already, and we've hardly even started. Oh well. Ladies and gentlemen, football fans of all ages and clubs, including Preston, welcome to Harry Yack's Ballsack. I am the aforementioned Harry Yack, but only on weekends when my owner lets me out of my cage to go to the zoo.
And I'm Greavesy.
Yes, I would like to introduce my co-host, Greavesy, aka Dave, the bloke who had a television channel named after him.
I know. I have to actually explain that to people sometimes from outside the United Kingdom when I've said in a few videos, excuse me, I'm watching Dave. I've got my own TV channel. And they've asked me, do you really have your own TV channel? Like, yes.
Yeah, so more Top Gear repeats on the menu then, Dave?
Yes, they are. My entire TiVo box is full up of Top Gear.
Did they show any football shows on, Dave?
No, that's
Your
a very
channel?
good point. They don't.
Well, we should pitch this podcast to them, shouldn't we?
We should.
To your channel, I should say.
And then we could say to them, because look, you're called Dave, I'm called Dave, huh? It's fate. And they just go, that guy outside's mentally ill. And who's the bloke dressed like a yak?
Excuse me, I'm actually a real yak.
Yes. Wigan's only yak supporter.
Yes, although people don't know me as Harry Yack within the Wigan athletic community.
Do they not stand in the grounds, look at you and just go, Jesus, there's a yak?
Yes, I go incognito.
But could you part your fur so I can see over you?
I go incognito as a human. This is my human form. Some of you out there may know me better as @JesusIsAWiganer on Twitter.
I will be adding your Twitter account to mine, obviously, after this.
Ah, good. Now,
just so I can poke fun at you when your team loses.
Oh, look at you, your team lost again.
Yeah. I'm so original by saying this.
So what's your Twitter handle, or do you have one?
I do, and I'm struggling to remember what it is because, like I said, I've logged into it twice in the last year.
Is it Lawn Boys Post 1975 by any chance?
Possibly it could be.
We'll put a link up in the description if you want to go and follow him, but as he says, he's not left that many comments.
You can expect a comment every time Google do something derogatory towards the good tubes.
Ah, yes. So it's more of a Google Twitter account than a football Twitter account. But
yes, it primarily exists just to say, oh, no, I'm not going to swear. Oh, darn it, Google, you've destroyed something I hold dear again.
Oh, confound it.
Work harder, boy.
So I think we should move on to our first feature tonight, or today, whenever you're listening to this.
Well, I have a little, well, not a segue, but I'd just like to say, neither of us admit to being particularly amazingly knowledgeable at football. That's not what this cast is about. This cast is going to be about going off on many, many, many random tangents, but hopefully all of them football-related, and it's simply because myself and the good Mr. Yackham like football.
Bend it like Yackham.
Yes. I wanted this to be called that. He beat me now. He said no. He beat me.
You were the person who suggested Harry Yack's Ballsack, however.
Yes, and I plugged it on, even though it didn't even exist at the time, and this is the first one, and we're only in it like a few minutes, but I did actually already plug it on Facebook, sorry.
Oh, that's good. Actually, that might be the one viewer that we have. Who is this mystery person?
I reckon it's a ghost in the system. No, I still think it's the government making sure you pay all your tax.
On that point, we'd better move on because you're going to get me paranoid. Well, this is, of course, a footballing podcast, and those of you who used to watch Badil Skinner's Fantasy Football might have a good idea of what's coming up this evening. So, in that vein, let's get started with things we learned this week, which is a blatant rip-off, but who cares, because it's not as if anyone's listening to this apart from the one person. Hi!
Hello!
So we've each selected a few football-related things that have caught our attention recently. So, Dave, would you like to read one of yours first?
Yes, I only have one, I'll be honest.
That's okay.
Wiltshire, because obviously England played 2 games this week, and were absolutely terrible in both of them. And I can just hear everyone just going, oh, what do you expect? Oh, negative, negative, oh, I hate England. Excuse me, where did that come from? But yeah, Mr. Wenger's not very happy, is he?
What has he been saying this week then?
He said he only wanted Wiltshire to play once.
But
I fully understand, because let's be honest, I know small children who could, take a tackle and come out less injured than that man. But he played him twice. And guess what happened?
He got injured?
Yes. I know, I'm as shocked as you. That's not to say he's not a good footballer. He's a fantastic footballer and has scored one of the sexiest goals this season. But at the same time, why did you do that, Hodgson? You had to go and do it. I don't know why I care so much. It's not like I support Arsenal. But, yeah, you had to go and do it. Now he's injured. Why is it when we produce a really good player, not like the olden day players, like Chopper Harris and, I could eat you alive, but, when we actually produce these really good players, we forget to make them hard, for want of a better descriptive term.
Yes, because I think I read it in the newspaper this week that, no, it actually was Wiltshire who was saying some of those supposedly nasty challenges that the Chileans were committing on the England players, that ITV was saying, oh, look at those, the horrible. Wiltshire came out and said, oh, well, those are the tackles that we should be doing, big, hard challenges.
Yeah, only he couldn't. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wiltshire. He's probably the only person who could get injured delivering a tackle.
Well, I actually quite like Wiltshire as a player.
The closest he gets to a big tackle is in the team bath afterwards. Oh, sorry.
Those of you who are under 18, we urge you to carry on listening.
Yeah.
Because we'll have more like that in the rest of the show.
Yes. Football, it's a game of innuendos.
Actually, I think I'm going to subtitle this podcast just that. Harry Yack spotting ballsack, the pilot. It's a sport of innuendos.
Yes. And then you should do cartoon versions for the banner of, oh no, because you'd be sued, but it would be good anyway, at least in my head, of Saint and Greavesy and put them either side, even though that reference is probably wasted on anyone under the age of 40.
Which we both are.
Yes, actually, that's true.
So
I saw their book in a charity shop last week, by the way.
Oh, right. How much?
It was 50p. I was priced out of the market.
Are you going to be
England's highest goal scorer?
What, Greavesy?
Yeah. Quick, to the Tinderwebs. Spinning Batman sign. Told you there'd be dead air, and it's all on my part.
It's all right. It's okay. England's highest goal scorer is Bobby Charlton with 49. Second, Gary Lineker with 48. 46, third, own goals. Here we go. Fourth top scorer, Jimmy Greaves. 44.
I knew he was up there. Yeah, sorry. I thought he was high. I'm sure that was TalkSport. TalkSport, I challenge you on your facts.
Ooh, don't mention them. They'll have us taken off the air or something.
They can't they? Freedom of speech? It's not like... Yeah, never mind. You're not even going to hear this, people. This bit's now gone.
Well, actually, some of the things that they come out with on their station, that they get away with.
Yeah, basically everything that comes out of Andy Gray's mouth.
Well, I shouldn't talk badly about TalkSport because this is going to sound like a lovey now, but I was once actually approached to be a representative, the person who they phoned up on the match days to get comment about Wigan.
Really?
Yes. They emailed me.
Why did you say no? Was it because you're a Radio 2 fan?
No, it was because that season oh dear, I'm going to sound like a pariah now, but I didn't get a season ticket that season, and I thought, I wouldn't be able to give a very good commentary.
Why didn't you get a season ticket? For your choice or theirs?
It was because I had a job working on a Saturday, so I wouldn't have been able to make it to any of the games, so I just picked and chose the games.
I wonder if that would be a valid excuse for starting employment, if you already had a season ticket. I'm sorry. Much in the way when people say, I can't work on a Sunday for I am religious. But you say, I couldn't work on Saturday for I'm a season ticket holder at Wigan.
That's a good point. Next time one of us goes for a job interview, we should say, oh, by the way, I can't work on a Saturday because of the football.
But no, because that would automatically mean you get the standard get out. But if you actually word it as, because I am a season ticket holder, not I got a season ticket. Because it sounds more respectable to say, I am a season ticket holder.
That means you walk around with the season ticket, you walk the streets.
Walk into the job interview with it.
Look at my season ticket.
And then you just walk in holding your season ticket and just go, I'm omitted from working Saturdays. This is my get out of jail free card in football form. But that was my one fact for the paper this week. But in my defence, the paper that comes to this house is the Daily Mail, and that's too busy saying everything kills you.
Right, I'm going to edit all of that out now because anything you read in the Daily Mail is automatically invalid.
Yes, I know. I don't buy it, and I'll be honest. The one thing I use the paper for is the TV listings, and that's it. You could just use the guide on the TV button, couldn't I? But never mind.
I was going to say the only thing you use it for, wiping one's bottom.
Yes.
Well,
I can't because, as I once read in the Viz when they printed a free sanitary towel on the back of Viz, it said, "Warning: newsprint may come off on."
Oh, people are going to be wondering what that bleep's word was there, aren't they?
Yes.
Well, I can tell you it was.
I was going to say it again then, but then you'd have to beep it again.
So you mentioned Jack Wilshere there, but I'm going to make a point now about dads. Don't worry, it links in. I was watching the England-Germany game with my dad, who keeps getting the players' names wrong. He calls Chris Smalling Chris Spalding, and Jack Wilshere Jack Wilkshire for some reason. It does my head in, because we used to have this player called Paul Scherner, and he would call him Sham, as in the Indian cricketer, for some reason.
Your dad, you just made your dad sound like someone from Slade.
He's all crazy now. Oh, that was bad, wasn't it? But on the subject of mispronouncing names, in the heat of the moment, John Motson once mispronounced Wayne Rooney's name when he scored for England. Now, the BBC have tried to wipe all trace of this incident from the record by re-recording it in the commentary for clips and rebroadcasts.
Really? Seriously? They re-recorded it?
But I distinctly remember Motti exclaiming, "Wayne Rooney!"
He should have left it in like that.
I know, it was hilarious, and I deliberately watched Match of the Day that night to see it again, and I was tremendously disappointed to see that they'd edited it out.
Oh, it is disappointing, but you've also got to admire the fact that they did it in the same day.
Yes, they've actually got
Motti, come back, we need you. What do you mean? Just need to lean forward with the microphone and just held up a card and said, "Say this."
Probably, yes.
Was it like Mr. Chumley Warner when they put it back in Match of the Day? Did it go, and John Motson said, "Wayne Rooney." Like when ITV try and edit Aliens for pre-Watershed, and you get that. I say we grease that rat. Fat son of a bitch right now.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, well, they don't so much now, but there is a really bad ITV cut of Aliens. You know when he says, "I say we grease this rat, F word, son of a bitch right now," and it's all gruff voice. Well, in the ITV one, it'll bound be on at Christmas. I'm going to have to watch it now, even though I have it on Blu-ray. Just as
we all have to watch that now at Christmas.
Yeah. "I say we grease this." Then they cut it to, "Rat, fat, son of a bitch right now." And it's so bad. It goes up like 4 octaves in the middle. It's like halfway through the sentence, you took a blast of helium. Everyone's off to find out of ITV in the listing somewhere.
Gone to download it at an illegal site. You can probably download it from the ITV website, the ITV version.
Yeah, I want it for Christmas on a DVD now.
Do you want that specific version? You're going to have to write to ITV for that version now.
Which brings me on to what I want to ask.
Oh?
Roy Hodgson, good, bad, discuss. As England manager.
As a Mr. Burns impersonator, good. As an England manager, he's all right. I'll give him a bit more time. He has qualified us for the World Cup, which is more than certain managers managed.
Yes. Yes. I'm not going to say the insult I want to say about that because it wouldn't be fair on anyone else who...
Do you not like that?
No, I don't care. But it just... I don't know. It seemed an appropriate insult for him. Ding, ding, ding. No, I don't like that. Roy Hodgson. I once heard someone say in a pub during a qualification match, some lady said, when it was him looking all pensive on the sideline, "He's got such sad eyes."
Oh, he does though, doesn't he?
He looks like a rabbit in a road just about to be hit by a car at night with the headlights on him.
And he always seems to be stirring at the game over the top of invisible spectacles. Have you noticed that?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I know lots of people say you have to give the players some stick as well, and it's not always just the manager and the players have a hand in it as well, which is true. It is true, but I would like to say I just think Roy Hodgson is a crap England manager, and I don't want you to bleep that in case he is watching. Because here's the thing, especially in a friendly, I don't know, make a change. when things aren't going your way, mix it up a little.
Right, so do you have something else you have scripted?
Ah, yes. Well, scripted. I would like to ask you, who is the scariest footballer ever?
I used to think Vinnie Jones was quite scary. It's just the way that he looked, and also obviously the way that he conducted himself on the field. But mostly when
be physically horrible to people.
Yeah,
I used to think that picture of him and Gaza was staged, and it's not. You know the one where he's manhandling his plums?
I know exactly the one. And I would put a picture up right now, but of course, one, this is a podcast, and two, it's probably copyrighted, so we'll get sued up the backside.
Yes. They'll sue the balls off us. See what I did there?
Sue the ball sacks off us. Now,
I would have to say mine would be, even though he's one of the greatest footballers ever, Zidane. Hear me out on this. Do you just know if he was a chugger, he'd just get money every time?
What, do you just get scared that he's going to headbutt you, or what?
Yes.
Exactly.
It's like that bit in Family Guy where he rings the doorbell and goes, Bon anniversaire, and headbutts a person.
Do you think those people in North America would have known who Zidane was?
They probably just thought it was a stereotype invented for the show, wouldn't they?
Quite possibly, yes. But it's weird when you see things like, football references, soccer references, I should say, on Family Guy.
What's your mouth out with self? I hope you're going to bleep that word.
Association football.
Sociare.
Sociare. That was Cantona, though, that wasn't it, that I just did?
Yeah.
When the seagulls follow the troller.
So I was watching old Nike commercials to get in the mood for this earlier on, and I remember the one with Eric Cantona, and they're playing like people from hell.
Yes.
And Cantona's got to take the penalty, and he just goes, au revoir, and then kicks the football through Satan.
Well, speaking of dads and speaking of scary things, I remember my dad saying, "Oh, don't watch that," because I was a kid. "It'll scare you." So when I watched it, it wasn't really that scary. It was quite cool, actually.
What was the one with Elvis, and they played it inside a boat?
Yes, exactly. Oh,
that one was brilliant. Those ones are good. There you go. Segment for you. Why do sporting companies do football adverts so well, but soft drink companies suck at them? Because everything Nike did was just amazing, but everything Pepsi did just made me cringe.
Was that... I think it was called Secret Tournament or something like that. Was that for Nike?
Yes, I think.
Oh, see,
I missed that one. Ooh.
The problem is we remember the campaigns, but we don't remember who it's for.
Yes, but the Pepsi ones were just absolutely ridiculous, whereas the Nike ones, there was a kind of a theme running through them. Do you know what I mean? It was like with the football pitch that was made up of people, so it moved. Do you remember that one? Where the line around the outside was literally a group of people, so the pitch was moving as they were playing. But the Pepsi ones were basically heavily made up footballers in weird Pepsi shirts, defeating armies and armies of people to deliver cans of Pepsi to small children in villages.
Yes, I think I remember that. One thing
Anyone would think we work for Pepsi now. I think I just officially plugged them. I'm not even going to say their name one more.
Pepsi sucks. There we go. We've neutralised that.
Yeah, there we go. And especially since the irony is I'm drinking a Diet Coke right now.
Something that does stick out from that ad campaign, in my mind, is there's a couple of sumo wrestlers walking away at the end of the ad.
That's the one. Yes, after the sumo wrestlers destroy David Beckham. That sounds terrible.
They literally destroyed Bend It Like Yackham, Beckham.
That's why he's got a squeaky voice. People don't know this. He used to speak with big, rolling, manly tones until he got destroyed by two sumo wrestlers. That's why he speaks up here now.
Not a lot of people know this, but David Beckham is actually quite intelligent, and he just puts on that voice.
Yes. I know I said it in the other live stream that we're not going to, even though this isn't live, we're not going to plug, but didn't Joan Clarkson say that, David Beckham's incredibly handsome and incredibly good at football, so he balanced it out by giving him a squeaky voice?
That's right. I just stole that line from you, actually, I believe, from one of the previous podcasts.
Right, well, there you go. I mean, I demand some sort of reimbursement.
Well, I have 10 pence here. Would you like that?
Yes. Only if it's an old 10 pence, not an old one, and not the new ones that I swear they're trying to make look like the euro.
Here's a geeky fact. I might have one of the really old 10 pences.
You know, it's a really geeky fact. There's a bag of them in my window that came out of an old one-armed bandit that my brother used to have.
One-armed bandit?
Yes.
Oh, that is so cool. I always used to want a one-armed bandit when I was a kid.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, this is off tangent, but you're leaving this in because it's important that kids these days know what a one-arm bandit is. None of this nudge, nudge, hold, and all these lights going up the front. I don't know about you, but I look at modern fruit machines and I just think, I can't operate that. I don't have a degree in science. But one-arm bandits would basically stick your money in, pull the arm, that was it, job done.
That's a good point, because most modern fruit machines have about 10 or 11 buttons on the front, don't they? And they're all a rip-off.
And also the thing, because what's the law? There's a law for how they can shaft you, isn't it? 70-30 or something?
I'm not sure, but there is an art to knowing exactly when those machines are going to pay out. And you sit there with your pint, and you just keep an eye on it. And the guys who've been there for 10 years know exactly when that machine is about to pay out.
There you go. That's actually kind of football related, because if you ever watched a football in a pub, even if it's an England match, regardless of how important it is, someone will still leave their table and go to the fruit machine when they're convinced it's going to pay out.
Yeah,
I have friends who have missed important goals because of that.
Yeah, but they are rich now.
They've come back with 25 quid.
They did buy you a pint for it, so...
Yes, and also I have to say, on the subject of modern fruit machines, am I the only person who seems to think... Well, I know people are just going, hang on a minute, I'm very good at them and I make a living off it. Well, I'm just old-fashioned, but am I the only person who seems to think that fruit machines that pay out up to £75, it's just a little bit too much? Is there a football fruit machine?
There must
be. Not as in a generic one. I'm sure there's a generic one, but I mean with licensed club.
Oh, like an official FA Premier League fruit machine?
Yeah.
Looking this up now.
Yeah, but knowing how expensive football is and what with the Premier League, you probably have to pay to use it twice. Once for it live and once for the repeat on a Sunday.
I can't seem to find one. I'm going to put official.
There must be. Official Manchester United fruit machine. Fruit machine of the year, 2006. Do you think there's a Fruit Machine of the Year award?
Yes, it was given to David Beckham. There doesn't seem to be an official Manchester United fruit machine. I don't think they can be seen to be promoting gambling.
But can they still have alcohol sponsors on their shirts? No, you can, because there's what's it name sponsors a football team, doesn't it?
Wigan Athletic have 12Bet currently as their sponsor.
So that would suggest that you possibly could have a licensed football fruit machine.
Yes, you could. They could start putting them actually in the concourses.
Yeah.
Because what they do at our club, Wigan Athletic, they have a special booth where you can go and put bets on.
A special boob?
A special boob, yes!
Tell me more of this special boob.
And you go and put your head against it and go to sleep. They have a special booth.
And that's why they brought in the law to make it all sitting stadiums. Every chair has a special boob on it. It's partly the reason that Wigan can command such, a high attendance week in and week out.
I hope you're being sarcastic there.
Maybe just a little bit.
I think we should move on from Wigan Athletic attendance.
I have one more Wigan Athletic question, though.
Go ahead.
Since this is obviously football related and people are fierce about their clubs, this isn't the question. I think it's safe to say, depending upon which football club you speak about in which episode, if anyone watches us, will determine the number of thumbs down you get.
Exactly, yes. We're going to try and be neutral across all the clubs. We're not going to favour anyone in particular, although obviously we're going to mention our own clubs from time to time.
Yes.
It's
unavoidable. I'd just like to say, Wigan, then, how much does a season ticket cost? You don't have to tell me if you don't feel comfortable, but is it reasonable compared to said other clubs?
It is extremely reasonable, and I believe it's actually cheaper than a lot of lower league season tickets. It's a very, very, very good price. It's approximately £250 for the cheapest ones.
That's not bad.
It's very, very good, I'd say.
I tell you what, I could be wrong, and I do apologise. I should know this because they are one of the... Look at me, I'm a snob. They are one of the clubs that I pledge allegiance to. I wouldn't be surprised if Bristol Rovers wasn't that much less than that. It's been a while since I've priced it up.
Well, at the other end of the scale, I do know that some of the Arsenal season tickets cost upwards of £1,000. It's led to a lot of people starting up ticket share schemes, season ticket sharing schemes.
What a brilliant idea.
Yes, very good idea, but...
And you could go to the ground on your ticket share scheme in a car share scheme.
Yeah, exactly, yes. And you
I like to think that there's a season ticket somewhere in this country for a club that has an allegiance of fans and charges and therefore has season tickets. I don't mean one where you just turn up at the side of a field on a Sunday. I'd like to think that there's one of those somewhere where a season ticket is the same price as a normal ticket for Manchester United for one game.
Oh, there must be plenty. Somebody out there tell us in podcast land.
And we'll plug your football team.
Yes, we will. We'll do it on the show. We'll read it out next edition, whenever that's going to be. Does your season ticket cost less than the average Manchester United ticket for one game? Which is what? 40? It's going to be more than that. It's going to be about 60 quid. Would you say?
One right at the front.
I don't know if that would be more or less, would it? Right at the front?
Well, it depends, because if you're right on the halfway line, then I've always considered that a poor seat.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, because I know lots of people consider it a good seat, but I find basically, regardless of what's going on team-wise, who you support, unless it's a really poor game where all the football happens directly in front of you, you have to squint both ways to see if they're going to score against you or you're going to score against them.
I can relate.
Football pitch is so massive.
What, do you support Stoke then? I can relate to that because I used to have a season ticket behind the goals. It's sort of a strange thing when you then switch to a seat that's near the halfway line that you have to move your neck to see the game because you're not used to it. Because when you sat behind the goal, you can see the whole game without moving your eyes so much as an inch. But suddenly, when you pay more for the halfway line tickets, it's a lot more strenuous.
So, assuming that your current season ticket means you are on the halfway line and your prior season ticket was behind the goal, is that partly the reason that your avatar of you on your YouTube channel has such a large neck?
No, that's because of something else, and I'm not going to reveal that.
Well, because you drew it.
Because I'm a bad drawer, yes. So my current season ticket is not actually on the halfway line. It's in the £2 cheaper seats.
£2 cheaper?
Yes, it's right on the edge. So the person next to me, just across from the aisle, had to pay an extra £2 more per game. And I laugh at him. Not literally, because he smacked me one.
Is there not like a compare the meerkat thing for football somewhere? There should be. We can save you pounds on your season ticket.
We'll just move you one seat to the right.
You have to know their scale, their system they have in place for working out what they should subtract off the price of a season ticket. Is it like an opposite way they calculate car road tax? Is it how much your person is going to take up the view of other people? And so therefore it's a penance. It's a penance tax.
So if you have a really fat head, you have to pay more. Well, I have to pay more because I've got a huge neck because I'm cricking it this way and that. Massive neck muscles.
And the fact that you're a yak.
Yes, of course.
People don't think you are. They think you're human for some reason.
So if you go to the Wigan Athletic games, you can look for me. You can always spot me because I'm the only person who is, in fact, a yak.
Oh, we need to work you into a Carling football commercial. The camera pans around the entire ground, and then just you sat there in yak form. Opening. Oh no, because you can't open lager in, can you, in a football ground anymore?
Oh, that's right.
Anymore. It's been in for what, decades?
The FA Cup is currently sponsored by Budweiser.
Oh, it really irks me.
Really?
Yeah, there must be, and this is not about I hate all other countries, because I don't. But it's one of the few things I'm very patriotic about is football. And what you mean? There's no English lager company that was up for sponsoring the FA Cup, unless it's true that no one cares about the FA Cup anymore.
Well, Budweiser obviously do. Somebody in America cares, I guess.
Yeah.
But on the subject of Budweiser, last season when our team got to the FA Cup semi-final, I was invited to participate in an interview for ESPN, and one of the stipulations was I had to be over the age of 21, because in the States you've got to be over the age of 21 to sell beer to people, haven't you?
It's funny, as soon as you said that, over the age of 21, my brain just went, no, surely not. I think I know what's coming, and that's just wrong, because I sincerely doubt they broadcast the FA Cup on any channel that's not like a really expensive sport package in North America. At least they didn't when I was over there. B, who cares? You're within the confines of our country, so it should be regular British-related drinking laws. You could, let's be honest, you could lower the age of Budweiser to 7. No one's going to drink it because it tastes like piss.
Oh, I'm going to have to edit that out. Because this show is sponsored by Budweiser.
We've already established it's Pepsi.
Budweiser sucks, by the way. Just to neutralise that.
Every time I say Pepsi, and since we're talking about football, I just got an image of David Beckham in one of those Pepsi football shirts when he had really long hair.
Oh, crikey.
Do you remember that? The really long hair phase of Beckham?
How could I forget it?
The many hair phases of Beckham. It's like calendar seasons.
The many hairstyles.
Yeah. You could probably work out, a period of Beckham's career by his haircut.
It's like a tree in that sense. You can cut him open.
It's like this is true actually. When he scored that amazing goal against Greece, the free kick that got us to the World Cup, that was short back inside Beckham, I believe.
Yes.
The season he left and he went to Real Madrid, that was on his way to seriously long hair Beckham.
I want somebody to go and write a book on the different eras of David Beckham's hairstyles. An illustrated history of David Beckham's hair.
I quite like him because as an ambassador for the sport and for England, and while he wasn't the greatest player of the generation some people say he was a very, very good player. And I do like the fact that he was very committed. But let's be honest, even though he had a few performances where clearly he wasn't fit, and a scuffle with Rooney in a tunnel in that embarrassing game, let's be honest, he pulled our plums out of the fire more than once in an England shirt.
I'd have to concur with that. So on that front, 2 Harry Yack's ballsack thumbs up for David Beckham.
Yes. And what's the opposite of ding ding?
Ding dong.
Yeah, dong dong. Harry Yack sporting dong. Possibly we're still working on names, people. Suggest. We'll call it something, Mr. Yackham. We'll call it something just for the purpose of the pilot, but people could suggest an alternative. And if anyone can find a way to work both of our names into something that's football related, but also whimsical and witty.
Yes, you can win a prize. Mermaid.
Didn't you have a question about a tweet?
Oh yes, we have. The Twitterer of the podcast. It was going to be called Twitterer of the Week, but we don't know how often we're going to be doing this. And the Twitterer of the podcast is at USA Soccer Guy, and I have some examples of what he's been tweeting this week. And this one is on Germany's goal versus England. And I'm going to attempt the American accent, but stop me if this gets too offensive. Goal shot! Murder Soccer gets to the cross pass ahead of Biggie Smalling and head kicks it into the soccer net. Germany Soccer Club lead.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's better than what I got. Oh.
And here he is reacting to England's loss versus Germany, and I think this is better. They think it's time up time. You bet it is. Completion whistle. The Queen is going to be pretty mad at that soccer. Hashtag soccer. Hashtag real mad Queen.
Oh. That's... I feel the need to somehow embroider that nicely, medieval style, on a cloth and then put it in a frame and hang it in my bathroom.
Yeah, he is my all-time favourite football-related Twitterer, and he also has a cricket one, which I follow, which is equally as hilarious. So that's at USA Soccer Guy if you want to go and follow him.
And we can't tell you the cricket one because that's going to be on our other podcast.
Harry Yack's cricketing ball sack. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, Dave, is there any last topic you'd like to bring up? Because I fear the end is coming.
I just have one final question, and we won't ponder on it. I just want you to say which one is your favourite.
Okay.
What's your favourite England shirt?
Euro 96.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I concur. And with that, ladies and gentlemen...
Well, there you go.
Didn't think it was going to be that short.
Polar opposite opinions on this show.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you all for taking the time to listen to our, I like to think, highly skilled and random waffling. Mr. Yack, would you like to bend it?
Bend it like Yackham, yes. I very much would. Yes, I'd also like to thank you very, very much for listening to this podcast. And I hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to be back again soon, hopefully, providing they don't take us off the air for whatever reason.
So we set a number of views that will mean we'll come back?
5 thumbs down, and we'll come back.
We're back. We'll just carry on.
We're going to get lots of thumbs down now because of that, aren't we?
Yes, that's what I like about thumbs down. Say thumbs down. 3
thumbs
times
down.
We'll look it in the mirror, and then any video you've got up gets thumbs down.
Yes, but you can't thumb this down if you're listening to the MP3 version, so you'll just have to pretend to thumb it down. You'll have to just give us the thumbs down.
Or you can shake your fist at it.
Damn you, Harry Yack's ballsack.
So, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.
Sayonara.